so I didn't zip it up all the way, but I mean enough to where his little fingers were out there and whatever, but still having a good time and whatever.
After Sarah Boone called 911 and law enforcement showed up at the scene and found George Torres deceased in a suitcase, released outside of a suitcase because Sarah Boone tried to do CPR on him, they took Sarah Boone and they had a police interview in the police cruiser. This was my first time listening to this interview, and the only reason why this came up is because in James Owen's motion, he kept referring to how there was 2 interviews that was done and how the Miranda was not read correctly to Sarah Boone. So we're now listening to the first initial interview that detectives did with Sarah Boone in the police cruiser. And yes, they did read her the Miranda rights, but I think the last sentence, it wasn't verbatim, but it was still good enough for me. Police cruiser. Oh, yes. Okay, let's try that.
Today's date is February 24th, 2020. The time now is approximately 16:57 hours. This is in reference to Orange County case number 20-017904. I'm currently located in my unmarked vehicle out in front of 4748 France Lane, apartment number 3 in Winter Park at the Tealwood Park Apartments. And also in the car with me is my partner,
Detective Scott Lowen.
And in the front seat is, can you state your name, ma'am?
Sarah Boone.
Okay, and your birthday?
Okay, so February 24th at 4:57 hours. And then just shout out to Transparent Tea for uploading this video.
10-10-7-7.
Okay. So, Sarah, I know you have talked to some deputies. I know we had a very brief conversation just to reiterate what you told that deputy. But like I was explaining, I would like to get a more further understanding of what happened last night and ask you more detailed questions. I am going to read you your rights, but it's just because that's how we do things, okay? So you do have the right to remain silent, okay? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Anything you say may be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before and during questioning without charge. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one can be provided for you before questioning without charge. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me?
No.
Do you understand what I just read you?
Yes.
Okay. So, last night you said that you and your boyfriend George were here at your residence and didn't really leave that day. You said that he went to the store to buy cigarettes.
Yes.
What time was that around? If you recall. Was it light out still? Dark out?
Yes, it was light out still.
It was still light out. Okay. But he's the only person that left and he came back,
Yes.
I'm assuming? Okay.
It's right down the street.
It's down the street. Okay. And tell me what you guys were doing next. Like what was happening?
We had a bottle of wine. We painted, we drew, we did puzzles.
Do you remember what wine you guys were drinking?
It's Woodbridge Chardonnay.
Okay.
The bottles are in the trash.
Okay. Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you remember around like what time this was that you guys were sharing the bottle of wine, painting, doing puzzles?
I'm gonna say 4-ish.
Right? I'm trying to figure out, was it a bottle of wine or was it bottles of wine?
Okay. And was this before he went to the store or after?
I'm sorry?
Had he already gotten home from the store at this point to buy the cigarettes?
Yes.
Okay. So it was around 4 p.m.
Ish.
that you realized, and you guys were doing...
Puzzles and art,
Okay.
listening to music, enjoying each other's company.
And all downstairs, upstairs? Where did you
Downstairs.
guys... Downstairs. Okay.
We usually sit on the back porch because we smoke and you're not allowed to smoke inside, so.
Okay. And who was here last night? Was it just the two of you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. No one ever came over at any point?
No.
No? Okay.
We called his daughters on FaceTime.
Okay.
We were just literally just enjoying one another's company.
Okay. And you guys share the phone that you have,
Yes.
correct? Okay. And the phone's located in there, I think in the
Yes.
kitchen area? Yeah. Okay. So tell me what happens next. You're painting.
Yeah, dude. The state, they're going to have a field day with this one where they're picking apart her story about the battered spouse defense. just be like, well, didn't you say you were having a good time together? Weren't you guys playing around?
You guys are doing this puzzle together. You obviously finished the bottle of wine.
Yes.
Did you have 1 or 2 bottles of wine?
Well, we had one previously that was maybe not even half full.
Okay.
But then,
So you finished that one and then you had the full one.
yes.
Okay.
And sorry, what was the question?
Just what'd you guys do next after the bottle of wine? Like after you
Well,
guys finished the wine?
We had the bottle of wine while we were doing our arts and crafts. Mm-hmm. And from there, we were puzzled out, we were painted out. Mm-hmm. So, being silly, let's play hide and seek, which we had played before.
I wonder if she's just listing activities that her and her 9-year-old child would do together, or maybe like, I don't know. Was there evidence actually of them? Because I know she said there was like a completed puzzle in the house. Do we really know they were doing the puzzle together? And I think she said there was like maybe some drawings in the house. Was there really any drawings, paints laying around, arts and crafts stuff laying around at all? George was an actual artist. Oh, was he? There was a completed puzzle on the table. Puzzled out, painted out. How would you describe that to me? Drawing, painting would be true-ish. Okay. I mean, it seems like a wholesome event to be doing together.
Like, I don't know if you've opened the door on the top of the stairwell, like, he and I have hidden in there before. Like, just having fun and enjoying each other's company.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's literally all it was. And then the suitcase is downstairs because I was telling you we were getting ready to do donations. Mm-hmm. And because it's not a very good suitcase, what was the question? I'm sorry.
You were just explaining to me the night.
Oh, he decided to hide in there. So, being silly, he and I were sitting there laughing at it, like with him in there. And then, so I didn't zip it up all the way, but I mean enough to where his little fingers were out there and whatever, but still having a good time and whatever. Then I guess I decided to go upstairs, and I don't know.
Oh, no. I think I forgot about this part. So she's saying that like, oh, I did leave enough for him to zip himself out of it because his fingers were sticking out. I forgot about that.
I fell asleep. So
It's George's fault. Sarah says it's George's fault.
I woke up this morning and again thought he was downstairs on the laptop looking for a job, as he usually is. And then thought, where is he? Is he on the back porch? Is he in the bathroom? Like, where is he? And then I came to about the suitcase. So I opened the suitcase.
The suitcase has been flipped over at one point, so that's going to have to be explained. No. Sarah's going to say George did it to himself. It's his fault. He did it to himself. Maybe.
I took him out, stretched him out, started to do CPR. Where air was coming out, and then like whatever gurgle. So I'm trying to do CPR on him. Mm-hmm. I'm shaking him, trying to get him to come to, but I could tell by looking at him something was wrong. He's been losing his teeth lately and has been complaining about his chest hurts, which is why I keep trying to get him to go to the doctor, but because he nor I have a job or insurance.
Wait a second, but law enforcement and initially the detectives, they asked her, okay, so any medical issues? She's like, no medical issues. But now it's like, but actually, you know what? His teeth has been falling out lately and he has been having some chest issues. So maybe that's what contributed to his death.
Has been putting it off.
Mm-hmm. That's why we have no record because he's been putting it off. Okay?
So again, I didn't know what to do, so I called Brian, my ex-husband. I called him, he came over, just walked in and then walked out. I grabbed my phone and I called you guys. From there, here we are.
Okay. The first time you woke up this morning, Did you look at your phone to see what time it was?
No.
Okay.
Most of the time, like, I'll wake up, but because he nor I have a job, I'll usually just lay in the bed for a little bit longer because the house is clean. There's nothing else that we can do. Me thinking he's on the laptop looking for jobs.
People are being hard on Officer Kolpsel. I haven't seen anyone talking shit about Officer Kolpsel. Just like the Miranda rights thing, not reading the card fully, but I didn't see anyone being like super harsh on her about that. Were there other things? Oh, you know what? If I remember correctly, was she the one that kept interrupting one of the people that she was interrogating or something? Maybe I saw a little bit of that, but I didn't see anyone being too harsh on her.
I can't use a laptop. So most of the time I'll just stay in the bed and collect my thoughts and get ready for the day.
So do you have any idea what time you woke up that first time? What time it may have been? I don't know if you guys have.
I'm going to say 11 something. 11 something.
Okay.
Maybe.
Is that when you finally got up, or is that the first time you woke up?
No, that's the time that I decided to get up because I figured he was downstairs on the laptop. So let him look for jobs on the laptop, and then it usually I'll clean, he'll look for jobs, or vice versa, where I'll look for jobs and he'll clean.
Okay. So you think you got out of bed after 11 at some point?
Yes.
Okay. But we can't recall which time. Do you think you were up for like hours before that, or?
No one in here has been harsh, but they backed her on being interrupted. Yeah, I don't like it when they interrupt. I don't like it because I'm like, just let them talk. Just let them talk. Don't interrupt. Unless you think what they're saying is going nowhere and they're just talking in circles, and maybe interrupt to try to get them to like get back to like answering your question. But so far it's been okay. I mean, we're still in the very beginning, and we'll see what happens in the interrogation. Or I don't like it when one officer is asking a question and then another one interrupts. I don't like that as well. It's like, oh gosh, guys, work together. Come on, you can do this.
Collecting your thoughts?
Brian, because I was supposed to have my son today and pick him up from school. Brian usually calls to make sure, hey, are you sure you're getting Lucas today? Because I've had job interviews.
Right.
Are you going to pick up Lucas? So after he called like maybe 3-4 times, maybe 5, I finally answered, and that's like...
Do you think you were sleeping and missed those calls?
No, I ignored them.
You ignored them?
Because he's notorious for blowing up my phone.
Okay.
But I understand why, because he's making sure that Lucas gets home.
Right, yeah, okay.
And to do whatever he needs to do day-wise so he can schedule around it.
Were you upstairs in your room at that time when you were ignoring those phone calls?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're not really sure what time you woke up initially, but you were upstairs collecting your thoughts.
That's weird that she was ignoring on the phone calls. I wonder if she just ignored because she doesn't want to answer the phone because she realized that George was already dead at this point. Because if you're sharing a child with someone, like shared custody, and then someone's blowing up your phone, what if they're calling you because it's an emergency because something happened to your kid, right? Wouldn't you be picking up right away just in case? But I don't know. She said it's a pattern of Brian to be blowing up her phone.
You figured he was on the laptop downstairs, so you were just getting ready for your day.
Yes.
You finally got out of bed at sometime after 11 a.m. And had gone downstairs.
Yes.
Okay.
Looking for him and was...
Couldn't find him. You looked outside, couldn't find him.
Did Brian... For some reason, I thought Brian called Sarah because she was supposed to take Lucas for the day. So I assumed maybe she was supposed to take Lucas to school in the morning, maybe? And then the reason why Brian kept calling her is because she didn't do that, so he had to do it. Am I making a lot of assumptions? I don't know. That's what I thought. It doesn't make sense to me. Why would Brian blow up her phone if it's just like, oh, you're going to pick him up in the afternoon and the afternoon hasn't happened yet, unless he was waiting for her to reply back to one of his calls or messages, and he still hadn't gotten confirmation from her.
Him anywhere, and
he wasn't in the bathroom. I was thinking maybe he's in the bathroom. But then I came to and remembered the suitcase.
And then you called Brian.
Yes. He came to for him and was...
Couldn't find him. You looked outside, couldn't find him anywhere.
He wasn't in the bathroom. I was thinking maybe he's in the bathroom. But then I came to and remembered the suitcase.
And then you called Brian.
Yes. He
Told
came
them
over.
to come over.
Yes, he came over.
Oh, okay. So he just wanted to confirm to make sure she wasn't flaking. Okay, gotcha.
Lives down the road, right? Not very far. He came over, walked in, basically walked out. You called 911.
Yes, I had my phone in my hand. I just wanted to wait for him to get there because I didn't know what to do.
Right. Okay. And then we arrived.
Like, I couldn't, I still, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what happened, but, like, my whole thing is, the whole, like, teeth losing thing, and I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know he and I were having an amazing time yesterday, like we normally do.
No arguments?
No.
Nothing? Okay.
Now I'm curious to know if there's any dental records of George. Maybe he had some tooth that was pulled out years ago and it's relevant and she's using it as a way to explain maybe him having a health condition now, or maybe what she's saying is true, but she just forgot to mention it earlier to, the law enforcement and detectives when they asked if George had any medical stuff going on.
And the thing with him, though, is, which is why we've been doing puzzles and artwork lately, is that he's been stressing about a job, of course.
Of course.
Which we've talked about. So what I did...
Yeah, I don't remember the autopsy. I don't remember any court docs talking about the tooth stuff, but maybe they missed it, or they thought it wasn't important, or they just thought, oh, these are just like teeth that was pulled a long time ago. It doesn't seem like it was recent or happened recently.
Did was start having him do puzzles and artwork to keep his mind off of it.
Okay.
His ex-wife is all over him about sending money, which he can't do because he doesn't have a job.
Right.
So he was stressing about that. He's been stressing about the job. But that's why I started to buy puzzles and paint to get his mind off of them, which is what I don't know if you noticed on the wall in there, it's all of our artwork and stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, music, art, and playing with the dogs, dancing around the room with the dogs. And then decided to play hide and seek. Because we're always trying to outdo each other on where we can hide the best.
Are there many places to hide in their apartment? I would understand if hide and go seek was not just in their apartment and it was like maybe the entirety of the apartment complex, like you're hiding outside somewhere too, but like just in the apartment, like in the apartment, I don't know. I can't imagine there being a lot of hiding spots. I know it is a 2-story apartment, but
How often do you guys play hide and seek?
Gosh, that was maybe the third time? Maybe.
Okay. Is it a more recent game you've gotten into, or 3 times the total in your relationship you're talking about?
wait, she made it seem like they played like all the time. We're always trying to outdo each other, and hide and go seek, and it's like, well, how many times did you play? Oh, that was our 3rd time. Okay.
Lately. Because again, like we were puzzled out. We painted already, so why not?
So you were downstairs hanging out. Do you remember around what time you guys started playing hide and seek?
Honestly, I don't.
Do you remember if it was dark out?
It was dark.
Okay.
It was dark. But my thing is like when I spend time with him and I tried to get him to start doing it, I don't look at the clock.
Okay.
I'm here with him and we're having a good time. I don't need to know what time it is.
Right. I didn't know if you were like on your phone, if you got a text message, if you got a phone call last night.
We called his daughters yesterday, FaceTime.
Right. What time was that at?
I don't know without looking at my phone.
Okay.
But I ended up...
Would that be the only activity that you had yesterday on your phone?
I called Lucas. I talked to Lucas. He's my son.
Okay.
I always call him.
Morning?
No, it was evening.
Evening? Okay.
But
I'm just trying to help you, remember something you did right before hide and seek that would help you remember a time or give us a good time frame, because that's important for us to know. You want to be able to tell the doctors that.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay. So when you called
I mean, honestly, it just seems like the story sounds so ridiculous because it was just, to me, it seems like something that was just made up on the fly. Okay, I think it was just made up on the fly. She woke up, she was like, oh shit, George's dead. Okay, what's the story that can come up really quick? Oh my God, let me call Brian. And then by the time law enforcement got there, you know, by the time she called 911, it was like, okay, we're doing hide and go seek. I don't know, we're painting and stuff. We're playing hide and go seek. I think would have been better off if she was just like, oh, you know, we decided to just like fuck around. We thought it was funny. He got in a suitcase. We were really drunk. And then I forgot about him, I guess. Her pulling out the hide and go seek thing just makes it sound really weird. But I think it was just a last minute story that she concocted up. That's what it seems like. That's what it sounds like to me. I think Brian would definitely testify for sure. I'm sure the state's going to call him. I mean, Brian Boone is on the witness list for Sarah Boone's defense as well. But I'm sure the state will call him.
Called Lucas, was it before or after hide and seek?
Before.
Okay. And when you called and FaceTimed his daughters, before or after hide and seek?
Before.
Okay. And did you call the daughters first and then Lucas, or Lucas first and then the daughters?
I know I talked to Lucas, but then we talked to the daughters afterwards.
After? Okay. Okay.
And I don't remember if she called us. No, I know he called Cookie. But yes, we called her.
What are the two daughters' names? Or just one? Did you say one
He
daughter?
has 3 children. It's Anna, Cookie, what her real name is Destiny. And then he has a handicapped son, Georgie.
Okay. Who did you call though yesterday? Who did he call?
Cookie,
And what is Cookie's real name?
Destiny.
Does she have his last name or something else?
It's Torres. Because she remarried, but I don't know her last name.
Okay. Okay, so you know it's dark out, but you're not really sure what time it is. You play hide and seek. How long do you guys play hide and seek before he decides to get into the suitcase?
Oof. Wasn't really. I hid upstairs in the shower. And then came downstairs because I was tired of hanging out in the shower.
Okay.
So that's when he would.
You know, the way that she phrases things are just really, 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 really off. I don't know if her mind is just like a little bit like off right now because she's tired, maybe. Super hungover. She said, I came downstairs because I was tired of hanging out in the shower. Mostly we're just like, you know, like I came downstairs because I was done taking a shower. I don't know. It's kind of
was
interesting.
playing around in the suitcase. So,
Okay.
because we both thought it was funny that,
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, well, I'm going to zip you up. You didn't come look for me. So, again, it's a broken suitcase, but
What do you mean by broken?
it's only got one of these. But because I didn't zip it up all the way, he was doing the...
You mean it doesn't have like the pull part?
Correct.
Okay, but it's
No,
got,
it's got a... I think it's got a... What do you call it? A paper
It's-
clip.
Okay, so the zipper to it is missing, like the actual zipper that attaches to it to help you open and close is missing, but you think a paper clip was on it instead?
There is a paper... I believe there's a paper clip on it because I know
Okay.
that the
And
last
that's
time...
what you used to like help assist you?
Well, or you can just stick your fingers in there and
Right, yeah, you could
unzip
do
it yourself, which is why I did not zip it up all the way.
Okay. So how much did you zip it up?
I mean, I don't really know.
You said his fingers were able to stick out?
Yeah, two fingers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm figuring he'll get it. He'll get it. But then I wanted to go upstairs and waited for him, and eventually I guess I fell asleep. I had the dogs in the bed with me. It was warm, and then fell asleep.
So you guys are joking. He's in there. You said you could see 2 of his fingers?
Yes.
And then, like, you just decided, okay, I'm gonna go.
If we didn't have her filming herself, laughing, making fun of George, if she didn't film herself, do you think that it might have been possible for her to get away with this? Maybe on like a way lesser charge? Manslaughter or something? Or maybe even get out scot-free. Because I'm trying to think, if the state didn't have the video for filming it, what would be their strongest argument against her? Because she would just be like, oh, you know, I left him in there. I don't know how he didn't get out. You know, we're just joking around. We're just playing around. I got really drunk and it was an accident. Maybe they can argue that, hey, look, George had bruises on him. It seems like when he was in the suitcase, it seems like he might have got kicked or pushed around. Maybe that's what the state can use against her. No, I'm not talking about the detectives. I'm talking about the state. If the state were to prosecute her, but they didn't have the video of her filming it, I'm trying to think, what will be the main thing that they would go after her for?
Go upstairs now, or?
Because I figured he would get out and then go upstairs and have intimate relations like we normally do.
Mm-hmm.
She would have to show remorse for that to work.
But I fell asleep.
Okay.
And he never came upstairs. So, again, I'm thinking he's downstairs on the laptop earlier today.
Okay.
And then remembered.
Okay. So, is this something that do you guys play hide and seek before you have sexual intercourse, or do you guys just play hide and seek because you're bored and you're just trying to pass time and it's fun?
We were, again, puzzled out. Can't paint anymore. Even started to purge some of the art that's on the wall now.
So we're talking about Sunday and then
That's
into
why
Monday.
I'm thoroughly confused, because we had a good time sitting
Oh, what happened? Was that it?
on the back porch having wine and smoking a couple of cigarettes, and then decided to go inside.
Okay, I think it was just segueing to the interview. Okay. So that was the... Why did it end like that? Where's the rest of it?
We're, again, puzzled out. Can't paint anymore. Even started to purge some of the art that's on the wall now.
So we're talking about Sunday and then
That's
into
why
Monday.
I'm thoroughly confused, because
Okay. Oh, it just cuts off there. I guess we ain't got the rest of it.